Because of the limited spots in Valorant franchising, the Tier 2 Challengers League is more fierce and competitive than ever. Talented players are starving, both literally and figuratively, for a chance to prove themselves to be world-class caliber. And recently, Hearthstone legend, TFT strategist, Among Us pioneer, future Shang-Chi cast, and OTV content creator, variety streamer, Disguised Toast, please notice me Toast, decided to sign a Valorant Squad.
A couple of weeks ago, I announced that I would be starting a Valorant team.
But how good is the squad exactly, and will they be able to get this bread? Let's find out. Today, we're breaking down Disguised versus Oxygen from the NA Challengers Qualifiers. Wanna learn what it takes to play Valorant at a pro level? Or just wanna reach your dream rank? Well then, Ghost Academy's Valorant Academy may be exactly what you're looking for. You'll get access to advanced theory and VOD review classes every week led by professional coaches. You'll learn how to actually play Valorant on a team level with weekly ranked base 10-mans with a coach guiding you along the entire way. And once per month, a franchise team coach comes in to give an exclusive lecture. Here's a general idea of what it'll look like. 2 master lessons followed by 10-mans every week. And once per week, you'll have VOD reviews in a Q&A class. And of course, a break in the middle to absorb and practice all you've learned. But it gets even better. I got you guys a banger deal. The first 100 people that sign up with my code SOVEREIGN gets a 30-day free trial. That's basically free ELO for you to take. So accelerate your learning by signing up for Valorant Academy today. Thank you Ghost Academy for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now back to the breakdown. Disguised opened with a 1-1-3 default. Clear and Ziff are going to passively hold map control B long and mid, while the rest of Disguised work a main control. Oxygen opened with a 1-4-0 setup. They have a read that Disguised are going to execute through either art or streets, so they're stacking 4 players mid, Killjoy solo B with a retake setup, and they're leaving A open. But the read is off. Disguised are actually defaulting towards Oxygen's empty site. Will Disguised be able to recognize the opening in Oxygen's defense, or will Oxygen find a way to perfectly respond to Disguised default? Disguised. You know what? From now on, we're just gonna call him DSG. The barriers drop, Ziff Killjoy turrets out mid. This Killjoy turret will alert DSG if anyone from Oxygen decides to aggress mid. But Oxygen aren't planning on aggressing mid. They're staying quiet, hiding, waiting for DSG to walk into their mid trap. Meanwhile, DSG's A main players silently walk up. Steel recalls a smoke for them to cross and safely clear A main together.
There's 3 players in short, ready to watch this cross. But they have
DSG knows that no one is holding them a main and they don't hear any Killjoy util. They have a read that Oxygen are probably playing full retake on A, so they call to just silently walk on the site.
And a straight walk on. Oxygen were prepared for some kind of fast mid-split from Disguised.
Exalt gets timinged and picked off by Verno. Mitch fade eyes onto A for more info. The eye gets broken, so Oxygen know that Exalt wasn't just a lone lurker, there's most likely a team behind him. They turn their attention towards A, ready for battle. And at this exact moment, Clear smells the gap in the defense that just opened up and walks through mid doors.
Sell for the retake, 3 stars to play
with the
with.
spike? Okay, Steel all the way in the back was looking for a bit of space. Could have potentially gotten a random one, but clear. Coming in from the back, only able to get one, but now has control of short, might fight against the Sage, and actually spots the slow orb.
Clear disengages from the fight and repositions. DSG are down numbers, they want to make a play to stabilize the round. So Steel and Gangsta take Space Secret and Flower together, looking for a fight.
Short, Disguised, they're fighting so deep into the spawn.
But Randy Savage isn't giving them anything. He knows he's alone, so he doesn't want to commit to a fight. Meanwhile, the rest of Oxygen regroup and prepare to retake together.
Disguised are just trying everything that's cheeky to get some sort of advantage, but it's not happening. 1-man advantage. Gangsta going down low, but doesn't die. Randy Savage coming in, gets headshotted. Gangsta with the cross, able to get one out of it, and the crossfire is good, but Scuba now, 1v3, 35 HP remaining, needs a headshot onto Clear.
And DSG take the pistol round. Oh god, kids, look away. DSG open with a 2-2-1 default. They know Oxygen is saving this round and that they might make an aggressive play, so DSG just want to start the round off slow and figure out what Oxygen are up to. As for Oxygen, they are absolutely up to something. They open with 4 A main. They know they have worse guns, so they want to band together and use their numbers advantage to make a play.
They're just going to be on pistols here, and again, a team that has been so hot the past couple of months. It'd be great to find this like anti-eco round, but it is really just classic. So
Steel only saw Sage plus the Fade Eye. He's thinking, what are the chances that Sage is pushing up alone on a save round? Very unlikely. So there's probably more people A main, and a lot of people A means B is weak. So he calls for all of DSG to execute B. A swift response from Steel off of minimal info. DSG walks up B long.
We're gonna see a lot of that.
They KO knife Hawes. Knife scans nothing. Hawes is clear.
Related calling, at least. Oxygen. No actual contacts in the mid of B here.
yeah, Randy
See a
Savage.
full exec already.
They easily take side control. Steel plants a spike out in the open. But look at the map. Oxygen have taken control of literally the rest of the map. This means they're able to retake from every possible angle. DSG are contained B and B long.
Not really gonna have much to say. I think for me at least yesterday he was underwhelming in his performance. Had some good moments, but they come in kind of flashes and goes, and now the rest of his team is gonna be grouped up. It's feeling like this is Oxygen looking for kind of exits, and Verno spearheading this area over towards main, where one of the rookie players in a big match has stepped up huge for his team, and well, he goes for the first swing, doesn't really find much, but that will force at least Ziff to back away. And they're actually doing a good job. Oxygen trapping these players in the middle of sight. This is a lot of collateral damage if they're able to get them.
They're gonna try the defuse.
Say swear. Say swear he sticks it.
Oh, the Nano Swarm takes him away.
And DSG win their anti-eco round. That was so close from Oxygen. They played the retake slow at the start, keeping DSG contained. Then at the last possible moment, when they knew DSG were retreating, they flooded out onto site to try to get a cheeky defuse with their Sage Wall. But the Nano Swarm got pony off the spike, while DSG lasered down the wall with their rifles. Oxygen lost a round, but ends up doing decent damage, taking 2 guns away from DSG. DSG opened with a 2-2-1 default. They want to hold for pushes for a bit at the start before working B long and mid. Oxygen opened with a 1-3-1 setup. They're thinking, surely this is the round DSG comes mid. So their setup is heavier mid and weaker towards the sights. The barriers drop, Ziff kills your turrets mid. Remember, this turret will detect both the doors and art push from defenders. Ziff and Gangsta are chillin', waiting to pounce off the turret's contact. Mitch wants some info, so he prowlers out art. The prowler sees nothing, no info gained. Oxygen know DSG are probably just holding for pushes right now, so they don't change their setup. Meanwhile towards B, Clear crosses to ramp behind the cover of his Viper smoke.
Just gonna hold on to it though because it's disguised.
Pony jump spots from Halls and locks eyes with Clear. This is info for both sides. In mid, DSG group up as 3.
They're walking up mid, but they had 2 smokes to at least maybe cover up some of this utility, but the KJ util 100% is gonna hit. The alarm bot hasn't even gone off yet.
Scuba draws first blood. DSG wanted to take streets control, but Oxygen's util trap completely separated Exalt from his team, isolating a free kill for Scuba. But wait, remember how Exalt threw a kill knife lineup before he entered into streets? That knife landed mid connector and it scans Mitch and Randy Savage. So right now, DSG know Sage was Halls, Viper is deep streets, Fade and Killjoy are mid connector. And knowing all this, they can safely assume Astra's anchoring A from a safe spot. With all this info, DSG have a perfect picture of Oxygen's setup, a 1-3-1. They know Oxygen are heavy towards mid, so they begin working the extremities.
In Scuba.
This is an instance where Disguise see that one-way Viper's orb and they don't
Clear spams Pony through the Viper wall and he immediately retreats. At A, Steel lurks up.
It's the knife that catches 2.
And Steel 1-digs Verno. A site is completely open. DSG sprint up to take the space.
Player there, but Steel lurking over towards A. Finds another free pick, and that's going to be the site given up. 3-on-4 retake, and with the rifles, Oxygen are at a man disadvantage. And now Steel's picked up another, so it's 4 rifles in their hand of Disguise.
Yeah, reminder, we're looking at a round where we saw 2 SMGs and 2 pistols from Disguised. Oxygen is a big round for them to get back into this game. They have the guns, put in all the economy, but here comes the actual approach. Randy Savage is on the front lines. Might face on a bit of a crossfire, but this is even more cheeky. Steel around the corner, has a Nano Swarm in front of him to even use too, and even swings out to try to take Randy Savage. They have no idea where Gangsta is, and there's still 3 people left here for Disguise.
Time is running low, Oxygen are down numbers, and they have no space to work with on the retake. The odds aren't looking good, they call to save their rifles. DSG win their bonus round. Their economy is about to snowball out of control. DSG opened with a 2-2-1 default. They want to slowly work B long and mid control while figuring out what Oxygen are up to. Oxygen opened with 4 players towards mid. They want to aggress Art together this round. But look at the Asher Stars DSG placed in the pre-round. These stars could become a suck, stun, or smoke. If Oxygen want to fight mid, they will be forced to either commit to a wide swing out in the open to avoid the star, tank the star if it becomes a suck or a stun and probably die, or not aggress at all. This is the power of a well-placed Asher Star. Let's see what happens. The round starts, Pony slows B long. DSG put up the Viper smoke to cross, and Exile KO flashes through to get on the angle. They see no one peeking, but they're able to break Randy Savage's Killjoy turret. Oxygen just lost all control of B long, now they're pressured to get info elsewhere. Meanwhile in mid, Gangsta Fade Prowlers mid doors and Ziff Killjoy turrets mid. Nothing detected, so mid controls DSG's. Steel actually turns his Art Star into a smoke. This locks Oxygen out of mid and helps DSG maintain mid control. Now Oxygen have a choice. They've already committed 3 players Art. Are they going to risk blind swinging through the smoke or give up fighting mid? Well, it's at this exact moment that DSG breaks Oxygen's Killjoy turret B long. Oxygen have no info B and B long, no info A and A main, and they already committed all 5 players towards mid. They need more info, so they call to aggress mid. They Fade Eye out and triple swing. Ziff breaks the Fade Eye, Oxygen breaks Ziff's Killjoy turret. Gangsta Fade Prowlers mid doors in response. Prowler sees nothing. Mitch responds with his Prowler. His Prowler sees nothing too. The dust settles. Both sides give up mid control. Oxygen know that while they were fighting mid, a DSG player could have lurked out A main, so they're very wary of that possibility. But DSG aren't doing that. Instead, they're calling to regroup and execute B.
They're gonna check
No
back towards
util,
A
or I
main
mean, no
Exalt.
information.
Rifle clear B halls. And the rest is to Exec now. It's Disguise. They get onto site here. There are 2 players in towards Link. Neither have a rifle.
They diligently use all their utility to clear every angle possible on site. They're not risking anything, so they even Astro Wall up before planning.
Full take here from Disguise in a 5-on-5 as Exalt tucks himself in back calls once the early contact.
Exalt's backing up, but Oxygen, because of this cosmic divide, they can scale. They want to wait for this to drop and maybe just go for one big swing here. We're waiting though. That Viper Wall does help them swing. Down goes the cosmic divide. They're going for a triple swing back over towards walls, and it works out. Scuba takes down Clear. There goes Exalt. There goes 4 players over and long for Disguise, but they don't have line of sight. They don't have line of sight on the spike itself. No defuse has gone down though. Scuba tagging away behind the smoke.
DSG showers the beast hit with an endless assault of bullets, spamming down Oxygen and forcing Mitch to save his rifle once again. DSG take round 4. Both teams are back on full buys now. DSG opened with a 2-3-0 default. Game plan's the same, work B long in mid and then figure out what to do from there. Oxygen opened with a 1-2-2 setup, a rather standard setup with a heavier emphasis towards the A side, but the B side is by no means weak because Pony is operating an operator. I'm a literary genius. The barriers drop, DSG Prowlers and turrets mid, their standard mid default. Scuba one-ways mid doors and gets detected by the Prowler, but DSG can't capitalize on it because of the one-way smoke. So instead of standing around and doing nothing while waiting for the door smoke to go down, Steel and Ziff double up to hold for a potential A push. At the same time towards B, Clear and Exalt begin working B long. Pony waiting with his op.
One-way Viper Wall, and they're going to hold on to it. There's no KJ util this time. There's only one in the middle of B, but it's a pretty good player to have. Pony.
Yeah, and they're walking up again towards B.
And Pony snipes down Clear. Exalt doesn't want to challenge the op alone, so he backs off. DSG call to all regroup mid.
And now Disguise, yeah, the late exec back in towards mid.
Steel places his Star Streets, signaling to Oxygen that a Streets push might be coming. So Scuba pops his Viper one-way and Mitch Prowlers for info.
This pivots back from Oxygen. From these side exits, now down to...
Wow, Steel didn't shoot the Prowler because he didn't want to give away that he had an Odin and a Shorty. Plus, he knew he was safe because one-way smokes are a double-edged sword. Oxygen can't push through it either.
Oxygen. Doesn't matter who gets spotted. They have a double swing. It's a crossfire here, just without the Astra smoke.
1-for-1 trade. Oxygen are still up numbers. DSG commit to finish working Streets. They suck the close cubby and smoke off mid link. With mid link smoked off, they scale up to clear the cubby. 30 seconds left. DSG need to make a play before it's too late.
Try and exit in towards the B side. They've just smoked off that B link, that B connector in a spot, but no, they're walking in.
What?
They're walking in, and Randy Savage might be in for a nasty surprise. He
1-for-1 trade, 17 seconds left. DSG called a commit to an A hit.
all that KJ util is down and puts it on a Verno in the backside. He has stars to play with, but no Bravwell.
Verno smokes himself across to safety. He doesn't want to fight a 1v2. He wants to regroup with his team to leverage their numbers advantage. Ziv plants a spike. DSG know their down numbers, so they want to make a play before Oxygen regroup and retake together. But Oxygen are already grouped up.
You have the Viper Spit, but don't know how much that could actually help
Getting
him.
aggressive.
Very. Look at this. Might be 2 picks here. Ziv around the corner. Gangsta needs the ace.
And Pony takes down Gangsta to secure Oxygen's first round win. Even though Oxygen won last round, DSG made it very expensive. As a result, Oxygen don't have enough for a full buy, but they force up anyways. So they have an op, 2 rifles, and 2 judges. This is a wild weapon loadout, but it could work because Scuba has his Viper ult. DSG opened with a 1-1-3 default. They know Scuba has his Viper ult and that he might ult A main. So DSG want to take A main control by storm and kill Scuba before he finishes pooping out his ult. But Scuba isn't playing A, he's playing B. Oxygen are opening with a 1-2-2 setup. They're leaving Scuba in his Viper ult towards B and stacking towards mid and A. Let's see what happens. The barriers drop, DSG Kale Knife, Asher Suck, Fade Tether. A main is bombarded with util as DSG storm forward. A ton of noise is made. Oxygen have 4 A side now. Then DSG cut noise. Oxygen know DSG were just heavy A main. They want to be proactive. They call to regroup and aggress art. If DSG are working an A split, Oxygen want to isolate a fight with one side of the split. And if there isn't a mid split, they'll at least gain some map control and restrict DSG's options. But DSG aren't going mid, they're actually slowly floating towards B.
There's such a slight change.
They break DSG's Killjoy turret.
And putting full reliance on the fact that
Mid control is Oxygen's. DSG know they just lost mid control, but that's fine. The call is to end B, even though a Viper's pit is waiting for them. But this is all part of their calculations. DSG know that since there's a Viper pit B, Oxygen are probably stacked towards the other side of the map. DSG are confident in their ability to combo their util to flush Scuba out of his ult.
they will walk out towards A. Or apologies
no
towards
contact.
B. Yeah, and there's nothing that Viper Spit's going to limit the vision of Scuba, so they don't know where they're walking actually.
That Viper wall is in a good spot. Does actually force them to push in. Here comes a whole lot of util. Here comes the double star. Shotgun only here for Scuba. Shotgun only, by the way. That is too intense. The rifle comes in. Mitch about to get swung on. You still have Scuba in the middle, and they're planting in the middle of Viper's pit, and it's perfect for the shotgun. Everyone down low, and Scuba in deep waters.
It's Shotgun City in here. Oxygen annihilates DSG with only judges. Huge play by Scuba, who masterfully weaved around the minefield of DSG util and demonstrated why you don't mess with a Viper in her pit. Oxygen take round 6. DSG open with a 1-3-1 default. They want to focus on working mid control this round with a player holding each extremity. Oxygen open with a 1-2-2 setup. Pony is opping B long. They have Killjoy and Viper holding mid doors, a Killjoy turret holding art, and 2 players looking to aggress A main. Verno places this deep Asher Star A main to help with the push. Let's see what happens when these 2 openings clash. The barriers drop, Gangsta Fade Prowlers mid doors. Scuba responds by activating his one-way Viper smoke. Ziv turrets out mid like usual to hold the potential art peak, while Gangsta and Exile are out mid waiting for the Viper one-way smoke to drop. Meanwhile, towards A, Steel walks up A main. Mitch Fade Prowlers A main, Steel breaks it. He then silently steps back. He doesn't want to go any further since he's been detected, he's alone, and there's a scary Asher Star right in front of him. In mid, DSG spams the mid doors a bit. They know Oxygen likes to put Killjoy mollies there, so they're trying to break it before working into streets. Their guess was right, but their spam misses the mark. Oxygen's A main players hear the noise. They're thinking, hey, it seems like DSG are working a mid default. This could be an opening for us to take A main control. So they fade eye A main. Steel avoids the eye. The eye sees nothing. Mitch and Verno both begin walking up.
But even then,
Inverno takes down Steel. Aiming control is Oxygen's. Back in mid, Oxygen's Viper one-way finally drops. But before DSG could take advantage of it, Scuba Viper mollies doors. This buys Oxygen a few more seconds of time. Exalt throws his kill knife lineup mid-connector. The knife scans nothing. Clear from all the way B long throws a Viper molly lineup that lands in the streets cubby. DSG tried to push through mid doors at this exact time, but Scuba sees all this util, so he puts his one-way smoke back up. DSG are completely locked out of streets, and they haven't even triggered Oxygen's Killjoy setup yet. DSG figured there's no point in doing nothing while the one-way smoke is up, so they call to work art in the meantime. But more Killjoy utility and Mitch are waiting for them.
one way takes them away.
DSG breaks the Killjoy turret. Oxygen responds with an Asher smoke at the choke. Mitch Fade Prowlers back for more info.
Here's too much. try and hold them back. There's a Nano Storm there as well with a smoke on top, so a lot of delay util here available for Oxygen Esports. And it will be Mitch to reposition.
Wow, a perfectly timed kill Jamali from Randy Savage off of nothing but pure game sense. Mitch fade outs and then pushes DSG back. He takes his moment to isolate a fight A main. But Clear takes down Mitch. This prompts DSG to work back Art.
He leaves it on Averno in the back. But he's given so much space.
He's given a lot of space.
That
It's
they
enough
can
time
use
for
a Viper's
rotation.
Pit.
30 seconds left. DSG are committed to ending A. Oxygen are like, guys, we have Killjoy and Astral. Let's just play retake A. So DSG execute onto an open A site.
Skies can, right? But what's the shutdown here? Can there be any shutdown? There is a lockdown for them to be able to retake with, and they're going to use it immediately. 20 seconds left, and the Viper's Pit is going to stay up, and at least for a few seconds.
No, it's going down. It's going down for sure off of this.
They have to back up. Scuba, good shot, but yeah, no, absolutely, it's gonna go down. Cosmic Divide. Are they gonna go for the defuse immediately? They have to rush through this wall. They have to wide swing. It is so difficult for them to get any pixels. Well done on the Cosmic.
And Oxygen cleanly retake the site without losing a single player in the process. A dominant round from Oxygen. DSG take a timeout. Oxygen's on the full buy. DSG squeezed out all their credits to almost have a full buy. So if DSG lose this round, they're going to be completely bankrupt next round. DSG opened with 2B long and 3 mid. They want to take deep mid control, but faster this time. Oxygen opened with 3 players hugging the B barrier. They want to change it up and aggress B long. Randy Savage has his Killjoy util mid to slow down the mid push, and Verno is anchoring A, playing full retake. Let's see how this plays out.
Sort of redemption in these last couple of rounds. After a sluggish start as well.
Bring them down.
Oxygen, no contact back over in mid as per usual. They give it up, but what we usually see is that double.
Clear dodges the fade eye. Oxygen think club is cleared, so Scuba and Mitch both rotate away while they leave Pony to hold the deep angle with the Zop.
Walk up to B, but doesn't look like.
Pony legs clear, but at mid, DSG have already walked up past doors. Will Oxygen expect this?
Yeah, the play over and long doesn't spot anyone. Look at the shift back. It's gonna be the crossfire. Mitch is here alongside Randy, but that big shot from Gangsta. Everyone's now swinging out. Look at the low HP. Randy Savage waiting for the haunt. Has an opportunity. Oh, flash comes in and the swing goes in right with it.
Exalt picks off Randy Savage and DSG storms into mid connector. Verno, who's alone, hears all the stomping. Instead of falling back and potentially getting run down, he goes forward instead to get into an unexpected angle and potentially isolate a 1v1 mid. He needs to attempt something like this since Oxygen are down 2 whole players.
Yeah, they did a kind of a switch up there, Oxygen, only leaving a single star there without the alarm bot. And they get punished because of it. Trying to set themselves up for Verno here with that turret and art, but he's not good enough to get more.
Verno goes huge and finds 2 kills. This round is suddenly winnable for Oxygen, so Pony goes back streets to look for a res to bring it back to a 3v3. About 40 seconds left. DSG have 2 art, 1 mid. Oxygen have 1 flower, 1 streets. Well, 2 if you include the res. Ziff pops his Killjoy ult while Steel plants a spike. Scuba's lurking in the flower smoke, waiting for a timing.
It's in a 3v2 where the lockdown comes in and Scuba needs to make a move.
They're not planning? Yeah, thank you. I mean,
Spike play.
the timer going.
Scuba gets run down. DSG know they have all the space because of their Killjoy ult, so they call to double push spawn.
Scuba did decide to fight it.
They see nothing spawn. Clear's playing in an off-angle art and he sees nothing mid. So DSG deduces that Oxygen have to be mid-link. You see, they're even spam pinging it.
But it does bring it down to the 2v3 once again off the revive. Clear. Did Clear hear anything?
Steal, no way!
And Steel, with the ice-cold assassination from sewers, secures a round for DSG. Oxygen take a timeout. DSG open with a 1-1-3 default. They want to take A main control and then figure out what to do from there. Oxygen open with a 2-2-1 setup. They have a read that DSG are going to default but ultimately end B. So they're stacking towards B and playing retake on A. The barriers drop, Exile KO knives A main. The knife sees nothing, A main control is DSG's. In mid, Ziff deploys his usual Killjoy turret. Pony actually sage walls mid doors off the bat and he's playing on top of it to look for a cheeky pick. DSG aren't mid though, so he doesn't spot anyone. Towards A, DSG noticed that Oxygen aren't popping their smoke at the choke, even though they've made so much noise. DSG are thinking, wow, what's with this lack of respect? So Steel drops an Asher Star mid-link, making it look like an execute is coming. Verno responds by finally smoking the choke and dropping another Asher Star for a suck. But Steel doesn't pop his Asher Star, so DSG are now ahead in terms of Asher util. DSG then make the call to rotate out and leave Steel A main as a lurk. They have mid and B long control right now, so DSG called it end B, just as Oxygen predicted.
Electing to wall off B mid. Off of that A aggression and leave the KJ util to play over towards B, where it seems Disguise now begin their shift. They have this Astra wall to walk up on. It's clear, tries to punish Randy Savage at the backside. Mitch, and look at this wall. I've seen this
I
work
love
like
this
once
angle.
or twice.
Yeah, no, and the turret, it's at the perfect angle just before someone is able to peek this player, but oh, they actually find him. They know he's here.
Mitch gets cleared by clear. DSG are so aware. Gangsta prowls through, it catches Randy Savage. Gangsta's calling, he's blind, he's blind. So Exile pop flashes through the smoke.
Kidding me? Clear through the wall, dry takes down Mitch.
B site is DSG's. 3v5 now, 2v4 on site. This is looking like a lost round for Oxygen.
Unfortunate, I guess. Oxygen
it.
with 3 though.
Instant 5v3. They will get out, and Verno up again. They're just not.
Wait, what? Oxygen presses the delete button and suddenly they're up 3v2. It's a 3v1 on B. Steel is late and sprinting back as fast as he can. Everything's falling apart for DSG.
Now a 3v2. And Seal miles away.
Zip falls, Steel in a 1v3 now.
This fight. And Seal doing anything he can to delay. Spots one in the long angle, spots one in the smoke. Knows he's on the spike, knows he's got the clutch!
And Steel clutches. He saves the round for DSG. Wow, what a round. Because Steel was so late, Oxygen had no idea where he could be. So Oxygen had one holding B long, one holding spawn, and the last player defusing. And because of this, Steel was given a window to isolate 3 1v1s. And he did not let that opportunity slide. Round 9 goes to DSG. Oxygen back on a save, DSG still on a full buy. DSG opened with a 2-2-1 default. Oxygen opened with a pretty standard spread, but Verno wants to get aggressive A main. The barriers drop, Verno walks up A main with a stinger. Steel, who's defaulting A main, notices that Oxygen placed a deep Astra Star. They might be up to something in A main, Steel is thinking. Steel recalls his A main star to scare Oxygen a bit. Verno recalls his deep Astra Star, letting him cross to whatever this wooden box is called.
And it's back to the usual antics, slow and methodical. Verno, though, again, key to take this space. It's something that they've been adapting, switching up this mid setup with now 2 players there to wait instead. No wall, no alarm bot, no Gravwell.
And Steel walks away. Wow, Steel was aware that someone could be pushed up close, so he placed an Asher Star right on top of Verno. Verno was probably thinking, oh shit, I'm so But then it turns out to be a recalled smoke, so it quiets down again. Steel has a gut feeling that Oxygen might actually be pushed up A main though. Also, DSG know no one's pushing mid or B long, so they call to keep it simple, regroup, and execute B.
Play so slow, these adjustments kind of are nullified in the sense that they're not finding that early impact that they want. And it forces these early setups to just be changed instantly as soon as this guys make a move.
That's so cheeky. Randy getting distracted by the other angle. As we finally get into a bit of a take, Disguise had 4 of their players close up into B.
So Exalt.
Yeah, I would thought those clear, those close angles would have done something, but they do nothing. The pistols only get 1.
And I think now Oxygen, now that you come out of this with your full buy, it's a big take of, do we want to try and get aggressive with this guys? And yeah, in the sense that they've been taking A main control, but it feels at least right now that Disguise are being unpunished for this slow style. And in the past, the way we've seen this get countered, especially Steel's calling in particular, is play aggressive, and eventually Steel will have to call and adapt and say, okay, we need to sit back and watch.
DSG aren't giving Verno anything, and they cleanly win their anti-equal round. DSG opened with a 1-3-1 default. Exile has his KO ult, so DSG want to make a play with it. Oxygen opened with a 1-2-2 setup. The 2 players they main are looking to get a bit aggressive. The barriers drop, Gangsta prowlers mid doors. Scuba responds by popping his one-way smoke. DSG can't get through doors, but they have mid control. Meanwhile towards A, Steel runs up A main and recalls the star. By recalling the star, he threatens to cross through this wooden box. But Mitch fade prowls off the star and it detects Steel. It pushes Steel back. But because Steel showed presence, Mitch can't just freely walk up deep A main anymore. Steel then then regroups with his team in mid. With Clear holding B long and 4 grouping mid, DSG are calling to execute B through streets. But Oxygen have a ton of Viper and Killjoy utility there. DSG won't be able to get through easily.
Scuba to play off of this impact, or play off of that contact, and I think
EXO pops his KO ult, Randy Savage gets suppressed, his Killjoy util deactivated.
actually catch Randy Savage, who had that util. So B split is coming through, and Scuba has it all to do.
No, and he does nothing. Not able to get the frag, but Pony shifting around and gets traded out by Gangsta. The side has been taken.
Res up as well, so we're back to a 5-on-5. Randy looking for the kill.
Oh, no.
Not enough bullets, and Ziff gets his teammate up and gets out, leaving Oxygen 3 versus 5. They might just have to save as well. You mentioned the economy. Not a lot to work with after this loss.
Oh, no,
And Steel
Bruno.
already catching Bruno. This rat man just sneaking around is able to find another.
Oxygen in a 2v5 calls to save. You know, the thing about Oxygen's comp is that it has so much util to stall for pushes, making streets and art very dangerous for DSG to push into. But it turns out that strength gets completely nullified by KO ult. Well, actually, KO ult basically counters everything, huh? It's the last round of the half. DSG have a full buy, Oxygen have 2 Vandals, 2 Bulldogs, and a Judge. I'm kinda surprised Scuba isn't the one using the Judge since he has his Viper ult. DSG opened with a 2-2-1 default, same as usual, but they can see that Oxygen has Viper ult. They know that when Oxygen Viper ults, they usually leave Viper alone on that side of the map and stack the other side. With that in mind, DSG called a show presence mid and A and then immediately hit Viper's sight. Even though the last time they did this strat, Scuba wiped them with a Judge, DSG are saying, hey, we're confident we can flush Viper out of her ult. Don't worry, the 3k Scuba got last time was a non-replicable round for them. As for Oxygen, they open with Viper solo B and 4 towards A, just as DSG predicted. But will everything go as smoothly as they planned? The round starts, Steel sprints it up A main, past Oxygen's 2 Asher stars and recalls his A main star. He's faking the cross through the wooden box again. Pony slows A main off the bat. This slow helps Oxygen maintain A main control, but it was a fatal error. This is because DSG know that Pony is usually Oxygen's B player. The fact that he's A instead of B signals to DSG that the read is spot on. In mid, Ziff Killjoy turrets out mid like usual and Gangsta Fade Eye streets. Noise A in mid is made. DSG immediately transitioned to the next phase of the plan, burning the Viper's pit.
And an early haunt was gonna pull already a player back towards B lane.
They got a little info before pulling out the pit.
They put so
least
much
it's a fish
impact here towards mid from the skies, and now Oxygen have to adjust. 3 players here, a haunt given out as well to check.
Face your fear.
And it's just been a clean walk up. Now they know exactly what Scuba is and
And
where
the
that
ball is
power's
on.
gonna get him, and it forces him out.
Wow, Viper's pit is gonna go down. Surely, there's no way that he can get back into the site if someone actually gets that back haul cross. And indeed they will. Once they pull up a smoke, it's done, it's dropped. There goes the cross though. It's gonna be 5v5 for Oxygen, so not exactly out of the realm of possibility.
And it's about fighting in backside here for the skies. They don't want this wall to go up. They don't want either Sage or the Cosmic Divide to go up. And Exalt takes the fight to them. Denying any chance they can get into sight is key here. And the skies have the advantage.
That's a little bit of util taken away, but still a lot more to do. 4 players to come in, but they're all coming in from the same angles. 2 coming in from main, 2 coming in from spawn. Exalt with a cross once again, getting up a big one. Clear. They still haven't cleared him out. He's still over in halls, and he's still shifting around. Mitch has no chance, and it's a 9-3.
Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. I've got some cool stuff in the works and I wouldn't want you to miss it.